Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. I want you to know that the Ignition Time channel is about the country, it's about the economy, and it's about your money. Power is shifting in Washington, D.C. Now, before I get into the day's news, I want my viewers and subscribers to know that this is the normal ebb and flow of politics in our country. I can tell you that I can pretty much assure you that at some point in the future, President-elect Biden will do some things we don't agree with. Will do some things I talk about on this channel. At some point in the future, I believe the Democrats will mess things up, and I'm quite confident that at some point very soon. And by the way, this tends to happen. The party that controls the Senate tends to lose the House. At some point very soon, we could see House Speaker Kevin McCarthy in 2022. So this is the normal ebb and flow of politics in Washington, D.C. Nothing lasts forever. And also, politics is there's no such thing as loyalty in politics. Politics is all about money, it's all about timing, it is all about opportunity. All of the things that President Trump has been saying and doing, in addition to his attempts to question the integrity of the election, this has been a massive fundraising initiative for the Trump campaign. Hundreds of millions of dollars have been raised. Senator Josh Hawley from Missouri, who's going to be objecting, there's going to be a spectacle today, there's going to be some theater today. Senator Josh Hawley is going to be doing more fundraisers. In fact, he's doing a fundraiser as recently as next month. So a lot of stuff is going on right now, which actually tells us that the underlying motivations of politicians are fundamentally about money, about timing, and about opportunity. And this is the case across the board. This is the case for Republicans. This is the case for Democrats. I can tell you that whenever I say something that is remotely against President Trump, I'm called a Democrat. And whenever in the future, which I will, I talk about the Democrats playing games, and I have talked about House Speaker Pelosi playing games, I'm called a Republican. So guess what? I'm okay with that. For me, it's not about the red or the blue, it's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican, I'm American. Here is what's going on in the news today. You'll see this tweet on your screen from Jake Sherman from Punch Bowl News. And Jake made two observations. Number one, President Trump has lost the House, the Senate, and the presidency for the Republican Party in the past 2 years. And today will be the day when things shift between the relationship of President Trump and Vice President Mike Pence, because Vice President Mike Pence will go from being, in Jake Sherman's words, a darling of the right to a near pariah, which means that once Vice President Pence, who's the president of the Senate, does what he's constitutionally required to do and declare President-elect Biden to be the next president of the United States, there's going to be a lot of backlash against him. And President Trump is definitely going to be unhappy with Vice President Mike Pence, but constitutionally, this is what we can expect today. Also, on your screen, you'll see a tweet from Mark Caputo, who covers the 2020 presidential campaign and Florida for Politico. And he said that in 4 years, the Republicans have lost the presidency, the House, and the Senate under President Trump, culminating with this spectacular loss. Remember, Georgia, folks, is a red state. We have an African American pastor and a Jewish journalist who have now beat the Republican incumbents to win in Georgia. This is just unbelievable. I have already called the race. I actually called the race late last night, if you've been watching my channel. And then in response, Alec Burns from the New York Times says this is essential reading for anyone who has ever said that President Trump is Teflon, that he never pays a price for anything, that 2016 proved nothing he does or say matters. And things have changed. Folks, in politics, nothing lasts forever. In politics, loyalties change very quickly. I know President Trump values loyalty, but I think it's fair to say that the ship has sailed, and it's fair to say that that things are quite different, and the power dynamic is immediately different in Washington D.C. Here's a tweet on your screen from Greg Bernstein from Atlanta, and he said, Senator-elect Reverend Warnock said, and he's quoting Senator-elect Reverend Warnock, "I intend to return to the pulpit and preach on Sunday mornings. The last thing I want to do is become disconnected from the community and just spend all of my time talking to politicians. I might accidentally become one." I'll show you a couple of segments from Reverend Raphael Warnock and also John Ossoff. And the backlash has clearly begun. Brendan Buck, you see his tweet on your screen, is one of Washington, D.C.'s top communication strategists. And Brendan writes, "We don't learn lessons very well, but what a political disaster Donald Trump is. Cost us the House, loses the White House by a big margin and now cost Republicans the Senate. Maybe not the kind of guy to keep building your party around. Like maybe don't ditch your constitutional obligations today to feed his deranged conspiracies. In the meantime, Jeff Stein from the Washington Post quotes Chuck Schumer. I used to call him the Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, but depending on whom the Democrats select, he may very well end up being the Senate Majority Leader. Although he's going to face some opposition from other younger, more progressive elements in the Democratic Party. So I promise you right now, there's going to be some infighting in the Democratic Party because there's going to be a power grab, there's going to be pushing for certain positions, but that's just the nature of politics. Chuck Schumer said this morning, help is on the way. Quoted by Jeff Stein from the Washington Post. Here's a tweet on your screen from Kimberly Joyner, who's a politics and pop culture blogger. She wrote, Trump has not posted a single tweet so far about last night's election. He's up pushing for Pence to block Congress's certification of the Electoral College vote later today. Once again, Republicans go out of their way to appease him, and he couldn't care less about what happens to him. And she is responding to a tweet from President Trump earlier today where the president said the Republican Party and more importantly our country need the presidency more than ever before. I guess the president is saying, help me remain president. Help me, help me, help me remain president. That's basically what the president is saying. Here's another tweet on your screen from Seung-Min Kim from the Washington Post, and she's replying to the same tweet of President Trump. And she said, so Trump appears to concede that Republicans lost the Senate, but that he himself hasn't lost the presidency and that he needs to be a check on the Democratic Congress. So the president is positioning himself as the last line of defense against some socialist country, which is what is my interpretation. And Seung Min Kim says makes no sense whatsoever because he lost, and here we are. And some might say that the Republicans lost the Senate because of him. Some might actually say that. Here's a tweet on your screen from Burgess Everett, who is a Politico co-congressional bureau chief, and he's quoting Chuck Schumer from today. For too long, much needed help has been stalled or diluted by a Republican-led Senate and President Trump. That will change with a Democratic Senate, a Democratic House, and a Democratic President, all of which we have in the United States of America right now. Here's another tweet on your screen from John Bresnahan with Punchbowl News. And John again is quoting Senator Schumer, who says, it feels like a brand new day. For the first time in 6 years, Democrats will operate a majority in the United States Senate, and that will be very good for the American people. Schumer also said, as Majority Leader, President-elect Biden and VP Harris will have a partner who is ready, willing, and able to help achieve a forward-looking agenda and deliver help and bold change to the American people. These politicians use these big words and these big, this big expansive language. I guess this, it sort of makes them feel good. It, gives them this sort of podium to get out there. And so, it's interesting what words they use. But at the end of the day, they need to understand what we are going through. They need to understand that for many of us, it's about putting food on the table. It's about paying rent. It's about keeping the lights on. And something that Reverend Raphael Warnock said at the start of this video, which I quoted, really jumped out at me, and I'll dig deeper into some comments from Warnock and Ossoff, and I'll actually show you video clips in just a couple minutes. But there are a lot of problems across the country. You'll see a tweet on your screen from Reed Wilson, and Reed Wilson is a correspondent for The Hill. California jobless claims estimated at $4 billion, and an analysis found that $42 million went to out-of-state prison and jail inmates. Just incredible. And this is the article on your screen that you can read from the Los Angeles Times, and you can dig deeper into the article. Millions in California unemployment benefits, COVID benefits sent to out-of-state prisoners. Just incredible, the day and age we live in. Speaking of incredible, here's a tweet on your screen from President Trump, where the president says the Republican Party and our country need the presidency, which is basically another way of saying, I need the presidency, I need to stay there, and everybody needs to make sure I stay there. So this is the tweet from the president, and you saw some of the reactions from journalists earlier in the video. And Andrew Feinberg, a reporter covering the White House and DC, is really letting President Trump have it today and responding to President Trump's tweets. You'll see this tweet on your screen from Andrew Feinberg, where Andrew Feinberg responds to something that President Trump said about sleepy eyes, Chuck Todd, and that's an anchor on TV. And Andrew Feinberg simply said it's going to be one of those days, isn't it? I think the president is going to is going to definitely spend a long time tweeting today. That much is for sure. Here's another tweet from Andrew Feinberg responding to President Trump, where President Trump said states want to correct their votes. It's time for Vice President Mike Pence to stand up and do something. And Andrew Feinberg simply replies, "This was all made up and ridiculous," when he tweeted it out last night. It remains made up and ridiculous. None of this is true. So I can promise you that Andrew Feinberg is not going to get an invitation to the White House in the next few days to have Big Macs with President Trump. I don't think that's going to happen. But then, this is an unpredictable world that we live in. So, but Andrew Feinberg, I don't think is going to be having a meal with the president anytime soon. Here's another tweet on your screen from Andrew Feinberg, where he responds to another tweet from President Trump, who said that, new votes were found. And Feinberg says, dude still doesn't understand how counting works. Another tweet where Feinberg says, who wants to tell him? Meaning that somebody needs to tell the president that the jig is up. The jig is up. And here's another tweet on your screen, also from Feinberg, where Feinberg said, essentially repeats that this was all made up. And it was all made up and ridiculous, and none of this is true. In other words, debunking what the president is saying. And that's where things stand. Everybody, let me know what you think in the comment section below. You'll find a link to all of our resources in the description section below. It's going to be a very, very eventful day. This is a historic day for us. And I can again tell you that at some point, there'll be things that the Democrats do that we won't agree with. My goal is to bring you the truth wherever it might lead us. I'm an American first before I'm a Democrat or a Republican. And at the end of the day, I think we should all understand that this is what we've voted for. And now we have to hopefully see our country move in the right direction, or I should say, continue to move forward. Let's see what happens. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. If you don't know anything about me, please check out my video right here. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. On this channel, the Ignition Time channel, it's not important whether you're red or blue. For me, it's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm American. We are all Americans first. You'll get different types of information on this channel. You're not going to get the regular kinds of information. You're going to get information that's important to the country, because we do need to understand how the country works. That in turn impacts the economy, and by extension, this impacts our money. On this channel, you'll hear about the country, the economy, and about our money. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. Please get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time, and send that to 70,000. That's 70000. You'll get added to our SMS alerts list moving forward. You can also get added to our email list. Simply go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts, and you'll get added to our email list going forward. You can opt out of the SMS list or the email list at any point in time that you want. Stay in touch with us via the SMS list or the email list. You'll get important news and alerts if you're on our SMS list and on our email list. So definitely make sure you stay in touch via SMS or via email. You'll also get information about any programs that we might release in the future. Now, keep in mind that YouTube does not always send out notifications on time. Sometimes YouTube sends out the notifications late. So all I ask you to do is simply go to youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time. And then you'll be able to bookmark the homepage of our channel and then visit the homepage of our channel and watch the videos anytime you want. This way you're not dependent on notifications and you're not going to miss a single video, which is important. You can also follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. So please follow us on Instagram. You'll get important information specifically for our Instagram community. Speaking of community, follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also ignition_time. That's ignition_time. It's the same handle as Instagram. You'll get breaking news and alerts from us on Twitter. One of the incredible things about the growth of our channel has been the growth of our community. I encourage you to comment below. You'll make some new friends. We are a bipartisan, we are an intelligent, we are a respectful, we are a growing community. So engage with our community. You might make some new friends. Also, please share this video with just 2 friends or family members. Just share this video with 2 friends or family members. That would mean a lot to me personally. As always, you'll get a link to all of our resources in the description section below. So make sure you check out our description section. And finally, please ignite the subscribe button. Please ignite the like button. I would really appreciate that because the name of our channel is Ignition Time. Don't forget to enable notifications so that YouTube does send you reminders when we release content. I'll do anything for a like. If you want, I'll do one of my dances. Now, I guess I'm an average dancer, but seriously, I would really appreciate it if you click the like button. Once again, please subscribe. Please enable notifications. That would mean a lot to me. If you click like, I get into party mode. And it's almost like there's confetti for me everywhere when you click the like button. I would really appreciate that. Guys, let me be completely honest. Just because some of us have started to get the $600 stimulus checks, it does not mean that it's raining money. What it means is it's a lesson essentially for us that we should never ever be dependent on the government again, and that is where I will lead you. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Thanks. Bye.